Thank you for giving me the opportunity today to introduce the CPMS to you. My name is Martin Schalling. I'm the CPMS project manager for year-end PaedCan. The Clinical Patient Management System, or CPMS, is an online tool developed by the European Commission for the European Reference Networks. Since 2025, we have an updated CPMS 2.0 in use, built by IBM and co-developed with the help of users from within the ERNs. The main purpose of the CPMS is the discussion of patient cases with experts throughout the EU. Made primarily for the members of all 24 ERNs, it is also possible for clinicians from non-ERN hospitals to access CPMS and discuss their patients via guest access. From Bulgaria, we currently have one member institution in ERN PaedCan, which is the University Hospital Tsaritsa Ioana. CPMS is a fully browser-based system, which means no additional software needs to be installed. It is fully compliant with the GDPR and uses two-factor authentication to ensure secure access to medical data. CPMS provides access to leading medical experts and is available for all countries of the EU and Norway. Online access is possible from anywhere in the world at any time. Due to the use of EU login and two-factor authentication, CPMS presents a safe way of sharing medical data, including medical documents and imaging files. There are only two prerequisites that need to be met for using the CPMS. First, the creation of an EU login account with two-factor authentication activated. Second, requesting access to the platform itself. Guides on all the steps can be found on the PaedCan website or requested from the help desk. Next, I would like to show you the typical workflow for clinicians to discuss one of their patients. The ERN PaedCan website serves as the landing point to find useful information, such as the general background on the CPMS, documents, and guides, as well as a list of experts in the system. In this chart, you can see the workflow visualized. It is quite straightforward process. If you already have access to the CPMS, you simply log in, enroll your patient, and add expert groups or individual experts to your patient. Some of the groups have defined procedures, some including templates that need to be filled out and uploaded, which can further guide you through the process. Then a discussion takes place, which can be a video meeting or a text-based conversation. The CPMS allows for multiple modes of working in that regard. Once the patient has been discussed and a conclusion reached, an outcome document is produced where the conclusion or a summary of the conclusion is written down. This document could also be handed over to the patient or the family. In this part, I would like to show you what the CPMS looks like. Here you can see the home page, which is the landing page you will see after logging in. The main sections are the main menu, from which the different functions can be accessed from anywhere within the platform. We also have the next upcoming meeting shown in which you are participating. Further below, you can see patients for which discussions are active, in which you are participating, either because they are your patient or because you are giving advice. You can also find the top menu bar, from which you can access your profile page, notifications, or the CPMS chat function. In the patient record list, you can find all patients which you have ever been part of in CPMS. The system automatically assigns a nickname to preserve the anonymity of for patients. Only the uploading clinician can see the real name of the patient. All other users in the platform will only see the nickname. With this toggle, you can limit the view so that you can only see your patients, the one that you have enrolled in the platform. You can also quickly see the status of patients in this column, whether there is, for example, an ongoing active discussion or not. The focus of CPMS are the patients, So for each one is a record created upon enrollment. And this is what such a record looks like. You have 4 tabs on the top, providing you easy access to the main sections of a patient record. In the Details tab, basic information on the age, age of the patient, attending physician, and hospital of the patients are shown. In the Files tab, medical documents and imaging data can be uploaded or accessed. CPMS has viewers for most file types, such as PDFs, images, Office documents, or even an integrated medical imaging viewer to view DICOMs. Participants, so other clinicians advising on the patients, are shown in the Participants tab. The history of the record, such as, for example, when it was created, or the history of previous or ongoing discussions, is shown in the History tab. In this section of the record, you can see what an active discussion looks like. You have the question that needs to be answered on the top, always visible, and the different clinicians discussing in the main window, as you can see here. Now, how do you get access to the CPMS? As already mentioned, you would first need to create an EU login account and activate two-factor authentication. You can find a guide on our website or write to the help desk if you need any assistance with this. This slide shows how you can then request access to the platform in 3 very easy steps. The procedure is the same whether you're an ERN clinician or a clinician from an ERN hospital which requests access via the guest access function. Again, the guide with more details can be found on our website, on the PaedCan website. Once you have submitted your access request, the PaedCan help desk will get a notification and can grant access to the CPMS for you. I have often mentioned now the need for an EU login account, and this is necessary because the CPMS is part of the European Commission's wider IT infrastructure, which uses the EU login as its login handler. Two-factor authentication, which you may already know, is being implemented in more and more online accounts, makes the access even more secure, which is especially important in this case when handling medical data and talking about real-world patients. There are 3 basic types of roles within CPMS. Clinicians and assistants who enroll and discuss patients, guests who are called non-ERN clinician and limited non-ERN clinician who also participate in patient discussions, and admin users who I will not cover in this talk. Clinicians are typically doctors who seek advice for their patients or give consultations. The same is true for guest users. The difference between non-ERN clinician and limited non-ERN clinician is simply that the limited guest access only allows to participate in discussions for giving advice, not to enroll patients. This role was specifically created for experts who participate in the CPMS only in an advisory function. The assistant role is a new role that was only recently added to CPMS. These types of users are people who support clinicians in their work, like for example nurses or data managers. Please be aware that as an assistant in CPMS, you need to be associated to clinician users. Otherwise, almost all functions are not accessible. But once a clinician has added an assistant, they will be able to perform all the tasks that a clinician can do, like enrolling a patient, adding comments in discussions, or scheduling meetings. Here on this slide, you can see the rules matrix of what action each type of user can perform in the CPMS. To see this in more detail, you can approach the help desk who can send you a copy of this table. One very important aspect to mention is that CPMS works based on patient consent. Templates for the consent forms in all official European languages are available from the login page or the supporting documents section of CPMS. Please keep in mind that these are templates that need a certain level of customization, which I will show in the next slide. For Ukrainian patients, a fixed consent form must be used, which is also available in the supporting documents section or on the login page of CPMS. And to learn more about the dedicated procedure of how patients located in Ukraine can be discussed in CPMS, please contact the help desk. On this slide, you can see by the example of the English consent form template that the name of the patient's hospital, as well as the contact details of the hospital and the data protection officer of this hospital, need to be filled in before a consent form template can be used. Lastly, I would like to mention that in the very near future, an accompanying mobile app for CPMS will be available for both Android and iOS devices. It provides almost all of the same features as the desktop version, and it is important to note that the mobile apps will not constitute a separate platform, but will rather give access to the existing CPMS on mobile devices and make it easier to work on mobile devices such as phones or tablets, for example, with the CPMS. And with this, I would like to close this talk and thank you for your interest. You can see all our contact information on the screen here, and please feel free to reach out with any questions that you might have. Thank you for your attention.